For example, if you want to become enlightened, the fastest path could be to just go and pick one school of thought about enlightenment, one spiritual school, and just do everything they tell you to do. And don't consider any other school or any other teaching. Just pick one teacher, one guru, stick to him, and there you go. And that's what most people do. But of course, you see the problem with this is that what if you pick the wrong one? How would you know? After all, how would you know you've picked the right one? Because the only way, honestly, you could know if you picked the right one is if you've explored them all. Then you're in a position where you can evaluate them, you can contrast, compare them, and then you can pick the right one. It's sort of like shopping for a vacuum cleaner. How do you know you got the best deal? Only if you shopped around at many stores, then you can have a sense of the fact that you got the best deal. But if you are just going to go and buy only one vacuum cleaner, the first one that you see, that you lay your eyes on, chances are pretty good you might get fleeced. See? And that's exactly how people get themselves into religious and spiritual cults, is that they just assume that, well, this guru's the right one, this religion's the right one. They just go full in on, all in on that. They don't consider any other alternatives. And then they end up getting themselves screwed. And this even happens when you pick a relatively good enlightened teacher. You could pick some enlightened teacher and follow him completely, but the problem will still be that any limitations or weaknesses or biases that that enlightened teacher has, they will transfer and rub off onto you because you're not thinking for yourself. You're just blindly following him. This is the problem that I have with people who just blindly follow the Buddha, or blindly follow Christ, or blindly follow Muji, or Rupert Spira, or Eckhart Tolle. It's not that Eckhart Tolle or Rupert Spira are bad teachers or bad people. They're not. But if you think that they're going to give you the full scope of what spiritual work is, you're in for a rude awakening. They won't. They're going to give you a partial picture. And if you're not willing to explore, if you're not intellectually curious and open-minded enough to consider possibilities like, well, maybe Rupert Spira is not at the highest level of realization. I mean, maybe he is, but maybe he isn't. But if you're not open to that possibility, you're stuck. You see? And there's no way you could know unless you go around and you explore and you try different things. But when you do that, there's a cost to that. The cost is time, energy, and confusion. It's confusing to consider many different points of view. You don't get that immediate sense of certainty and resolution, because if you just go devote yourself to one guru and you just say, okay, that's my guru and I'm just going to do everything he says and just he's the most enlightened one and that's it, and there's nothing I'm going to miss by being fully devoted to him. That's going to take me all the way to the highest awakening. If that's what you believe from the very get-go, first of all, notice that's just a belief. It's just an assumption. There's no proof for that. You didn't actually derive that through experimentation and exploration. You just assumed it. Why did you assume it? Because it's a very convenient assumption. You need to do a lot less work now. You can just blindly follow that person like a sheep, and then you won't even know what you've missed because you've closed yourself off to other possibilities.